Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. And before I do anything, I want to thank you all of you guys for helping me reach the 1000 subscribers. It really means the world to me that you like to watch my videos. But now, without further ado, let's continue before I get too emotional. So today we are going to update my reading journal, which is my favorite journal to update. I'll link the past two videos down below if you want to check the yearly spreads and the January reads. And we're going to start by updating my reading goals with 3 more books. In February, I read Scorpion by Avina St. Graves. That is part of the Exodus series, which I gave 4 stars. The second in this series, there is Karma by Lauren B.L., which I gave 3 stars. And to finish this month, I also read Daydream by Anna Grace, which I gave 5 stars. But I'm going to talk more about them a little later. After my goals, I'm also updating my bookshelf, and I was debating if I would color the books according to their actual covers or if I kept my original idea of coloring them according to my rating. But since the early spreads are all in this gothic and dark color scheme, I thought maybe it would look nicer if I kept all the colors cohesive, so I went with my original idea. Also, again, if you want to learn more about how these spreads work or if you want to see what I actually do in them, you can go watch my reading journal setup. That's where I explain all of it. I also did some progress on my challenges. From A to Z, I did the letters D for Daydream and K for Karma, and on the Red Rainbow I put the cover for Her Soul for Revenge in the black color. That's for January, but I forgot to print the cover, and also I put Daydream in the purple one. Moving on to my bingo, I accomplished 3 prompts: 1 word title for Scorpion, new author for Karma, and Made Me Cry for Daydream. I keep all the numbers for each square on this flip out, and I write the book that I did for each prompt. I also do a maximum of 3 prompts per book, so I don't cross like 10 prompts with 1 book because that would be boring. Next to the bingo, that's a page for book places. In here I write where the books take place. It can be real places or fictional places, and this time I wrote Los Angeles and Maple Hills. For my series tracker, I'm adding the Exodus series, and it has 7 books that I know of. And I also finished the Maple Hills trilogy. I already read Icebreaker and Wildfire, and now I finished Daydream, so that series is completed. I don't know why, but finishing a series is such an accomplishment for me. Please tell me that I'm not alone in this. And again, for the life of me, I can find the marker that I used initially to color the numbers. So now I have 3 more different colors in this because I can find the right one. My guess is that I colored it and with the time it changed the color a little bit. That happens sometimes with my zebra liners, especially the gray ones, at least for me. Next is my reading log. In here I put the title, the author, the number of pages, when I started and finished the book, and also my star rating. It's just a space where I can see all my 2025 books at a glance. And following the reading log is my general reviews. This is pretty much a quick and compact review for each book. It contains some information that I don't put in my actual review in the monthly spreads. In here I put the cover, so it looks pretty, and also if I want to quickly find the book, it's easier. Then I also put my star and spice rating, the title, the author, the series it's part of, or if it's a standalone, the genre, the format I read, the year it was published, and also a few sentences of my opinion on the book. Let's move on to the final spread of this initial setup. This is the year of Goober, and I didn't print the cover for the January, so I did that, and the prompt I picked for it was Carnation, which was for favorite author, and I read Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton for that one. And for February I picked Violet, which means continue a series, and I read Daydream for that. I printed each flower for each prompt in this tiny size so I could put it in each month. It's time to do the monthly cover spread, and since February is the month of love, I wanted to do a romantic spread, but not in your face type of romantic, so I went with a more vintage vibe. The inspiration for this was this beautiful typewriter sticker made by Anna from Journal Away, which is the owner of Paper Monogatari. I'll leave her channel and shop down below. I wanted this theme to be vintage love letters, and I think the whole romantic vibe didn't make it. It turned out much more vintage letters than actually love letters, but you know, it's up for interpretation. And I decided to put this ephemera behind the sticker, this paper with text in them, and also this notepad. I think it looks really good altogether. I ripped the edges of the paper to look more organic and vintage looking, and I also put some washi tape, of course, to bring more of that dark brown into the cover, because it was looking really beige and I needed the brown to match the sticker. And this brown typewriter washi tape is also from another YouTuber that you probably know, Hedda from Moshi Bujo, and her shop is Ikigai Papier. I'll also link her down below. I thought this washi was perfect since it had the brown and also the font in typewriter style, and then I used this beige washi tape to complement the other one. For the title I used my stamps again because of the whole typewriter style, and I didn't have an ink pad with a color that would match the brown, so I chose an Ohuhu water-based marker to color the stamp, and it works really well. And also it means that I can use any color that I want. The only downside is that I can do that in a bigger stamp because it dries more quickly, but it's fine for this. In the left page I'm doing a calendar, as I usually do. In this calendar I track the days that I spend reading each book, and I assigned a different color for each book. This is just a visual thing. I don't actually use this information anywhere else, not even in my yearly stats. Like I said, it's just visual and I like how it looks. To fill the space in the calendar where I don't have any days, I'm going to put washi tape. I do this pretty often because I think it looks cute and also helps fill the space and bring a pop of color. Now that the cover spread is done, we can move on to the actual reviews. So, starting with Scorpion and Karma, since they are part of the same series, I put them together in a spread instead of one for each. I printed these animal masks because they are part of the story in both of them, and I did both of the pages in the same style, just inversed. But you see that as I go, so now let's talk about the book. First, Scorpion. This book is a second chance romance with a bit of a secret society, and I'm going to butcher every name in this, so I'm sorry in advance. And we follow Zalak. She's dating Matisse in secret from her parents because they want her to marry this person and they are very strict with her and her sister. And one day, when her parents catch her with Matisse, they want her to break things off and they announce that she's going to marry this other man. Zalak and Matisse never speak again, and 8 years later, she's a sniper for the special forces, and she lost everything in 3 days. Her sister and her parents died in a plane crash, and she lost her best friend in an ambush. So Zalak comes back to the States and starts doing underground fights, and that's where she encounters Matisse again, after 10 years of living and breaking his heart. What she doesn't know is that he's been watching over her ever since she left, and now she's hiring her to be his bodyguard because Mattis's family is involved in some crazy things like the Exodus. I really liked the story and the characters. I just didn't give 5 stars because the time jumps weren't always clear, or at least I was confused sometimes, but beyond that, I really loved this book. So now let's talk about Karma. This is a dark romance novella and it follows Alistair and Knox. Alistair is on a mission. She is working with her boyfriend Sam to find her father's killers. Her father was killed 10 years ago on a night, and ever since she knows that on a specific day everyone in the town locks their door, they don't come out after dark because in that night bad things happen to those who are caught. Knox is part of Exodus and he goes out to kill the list of people that they give him. But the plan doesn't go as he thought because he's taken hostage by Alistair, or Karma as he calls her. She demands to know what that night means, who he works for, all of that, but he can't talk because if he does, he dies. If he doesn't go back in a few hours, they will turn him into a traitor and he dies. But if he also doesn't talk to Alistair, he dies as well. So he's in a real bad situation. But I can't say anything more because otherwise it's spoiler. I didn't love this book. If it was longer, maybe I would have liked it more. It felt a little rushed, especially in the end, and I didn't like the characters as well. The story was interesting, but I didn't love how it turned out. Sometimes it was a little strange for me, but oh well. I wrote 2 quotes, one for each book. For Scorpion, I picked this quote: "I don't want a soldier, I want you. Anyone can pick up a gun, but you don't need a weapon to become one." And I mean, this is so badass. And for Karma, I chose this one: "You aren't a monster, you're just karma. Their actions decided yours. You only wish to give what they deserve." This pretty much resumes these 2 books. This is a series that I will continue for sure because I'm intrigued by Exodus, and also since every book is written by a different author, I can see which authors I like more and I can try out other books from them. Now let's move on to the next book and also the last spread of this setup. For Daydream, I really liked the characters on the cover, so I printed them bigger and I cut around them so I could use them in this spread. I will keep it really simple, just with some doilies and purple washi tapes to match the color of the book. Now let's talk about the story. This book follows Hale. She's the older daughter, she's kind, helps everyone, and she dreams of being a writer. And also, she just broke up with her boyfriend. And now that she's all alone without any friends, she decides that she needs to start doing things for herself instead of doing it for others. And so, she starts a book club and follows her dream. But that's easier said than done. So one night, Henry, which is also a junior and the captain of the hockey team, arrives at their book club. They immediately connect, and when Henry tells Hale that he's struggling with a class, she offers him to be his tutor. And in exchange, he can show her many experiences so that she can write her book. And like that, they write this rule book, and of course, they can't fall in love. Henry is a really complex character. He struggles with procrastination, and with his new title of captain of the hockey team, which he didn't even want, he cannot fail. He also likes to keep to himself, is not very good at understanding people, but now with Hale things are easier, and she's the only one that he can tolerate pretty much all day. I was losing hope at the end, but then he surprised me, so I forgave him. I actually predicted this book to be a 3-star because since I didn't like very much the last book, Wildfire, and I don't really enjoy the whole friends to lovers trope, I really thought it would be boring, but it really surprised me and it actually ended up being a favorite of mine. I resonated with the characters, even though sometimes I wanted to pull my hair because of them, especially Hale being a people pleaser, because I'm not. But in the end, I loved the story, and it was nice to read again about some characters of the other books. I copied the title again because it's what I like to do, and I chose 2 quotes this time. The first is: "This might be my favorite romance book, but we are my favorite love story." Which, come on, this is so cute. And the other one is: "I'd tell you how beautiful you are. That when you laugh, I want to listen to it forever. I tell you that when I daydream, I think of us." Which I think it connects the title of the book with the actual story. And this book was really refreshing because most of my books are dark romance with heavy topics or controversial themes, but sometimes a cute romance does wonders, and I actually loved it. So maybe I should give this soft romance a go sometimes, just to bring me something other than death and weapons and mafia to think about. It's time for the final flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like and subscribe as always. And if you made it this far, comment down below a purple heart emoji so that I know you watched the video all the way till the end. It was a month of different reads and different ratings, but overall I really liked the books I read and I can't wait to read more. Also, tell me if you have been enjoying these book reviews in this style, or if you actually prefer the ones I did in 2024 with kind of a mood board style. I love how this journal is turning out, and honestly, I'm way more happy with how I do things now. Stay tuned for the following videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!